Hello, it is I, Jay, back at it with another vlog. This time, I'm gonna try not to ramble. It's like my theme, so we're gonna try not to. But today is structured, so I might not. I'm going to be answering 35 questions. It's kind of like a questionnaire theme that all of us are gonna kind of be doing, just to get to know me kind of questionnaire, random stuff. I haven't gone through all of the questions. I've just kind of briefly went through them, so it's gonna be like on the fly. Yeah, so it's towards the end of the day, the sun's setting. As you can see, it's bright out. I look like a mess. Also, my sun poisoning now has an interesting tan. I got sun poisoning the beginning of May when I was at a BTS concert. It was bad. And it just now has begun to not be red and look kind of normal. So that's nice. So I have a crazy, crazy tan. Yeah. To the questions. All right, focus. What is your favorite color? Well, I came prepared for this one because it was a little hard to describe. I like mint green, aquamarine kind of color. It's very similar to, I have this BTS album, and it's kind of like this color. It's a little bluer in the camera, but it's quite, if you have this album, you would know. I like this color. Yeah, I like that color a lot. And rose gold. I like rose gold. What is your zodiac sign? I am a Taurus, through and through. I share a birthday with Shay, who is part of this group. You should know her from her vlogs. And we share the same birthday, a few years apart. And yeah, we're both Tauruses, you know, bougie twins for life. What is the most useless talent you have? I can pick things up with my feet. Yes, you heard that correctly. I have monkey feet, which is also funny because my zodiac, my Chinese zodiac is the monkey. It's very fitting. So I can just pick, like, rather than bending over, I just pick it up with my feet and then grab it. It's very convenient for the lazy person. If you can pick things up with your foot, 10 out of 10 recommend. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing? All I can think about is my childhood. I was a very gullible child, very gullible. It was not difficult to make me believe whatever you said was like, yeah, that's true. So I'm sure there are many instances where this has occurred. One particular, I mean, this isn't probably the best, but one particular that comes to mind is, we all know who Uncle Sam is, right? It's like the government. Well, my mom convinced me that I had a physical, actual uncle on her side who was super, super, super rich, and his name was Sam. And so I would go around telling people for like a few weeks that I had a super rich Uncle Sam. And I now know why the adults laughed at me. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Thanks for making me look like an idiota. My whole family was like, haha, she's gullible, let's make her believe things. Yeah, traumatic childhood, good God. Next question. When someone finds out what you do or where you are from, what question do they always ask you? In my last job, particularly, that I've done over the last like 5 or 6 years, I would get the question of, what do you do? Quite a lot. I had the ability, I was very well off financially for just a job. I was kind of the boss and doing things. And so I was financially set, and I could take time off whenever I needed it or whenever I wanted it. So I could travel quite frequently. I was traveling all of the time. And people would always be like, what do you do for a living? How are you taking this time off to go places? How are you? You're always on vacation. What are you doing? So I would get that constantly. Constantly. I still get that. Like, I went to Australia like back in June last month, and people were like, how are you able to go on all these vacations and do all these things, and what do you do for a living? Like, what do you do? Yeah, so I would always get like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm just a caregiver, guys. Calm down. Chill. But I thought it was just always funny, because I prioritize traveling above a lot of other things. So I make money to go do those things, and I know how to like find the good deals. So it's like, it's not a lot to go traveling. And people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, plus I don't have kids. So why not travel while you can? Yeah, it's just funny because every single time I'm like, what do you do for a living? Where are you going? Constantly, if I go see family or something, that's always the first question they ask me. What's the best thing you've got going in your life at the moment? Probably, I would say I've gotten closer with my family. Things have been kind of rocky over the last year. Not just like my family, but my extended family. Things have been difficult over the last year and almost 2 years. And now it's at a point where everyone's a lot closer, everything's a lot less bullshit, and a lot more supportive. And not always, but it's just, things are a little bit more uplifting and happier, and family life has just gotten nicer. Yeah. Anticlimactic, but yeah. My family. What is the most amazing fact you know? See, my thing is that I know a lot of random facts. And I'll remember them at random times, just randomly. Trying to think of one at the moment. I am blanking. I have a lot of knowledge in here. I need to utilize it. Random fact is that I read a study that said estrogen is actually the fighting gene, not testosterone. Like testosterone is more about survival and kind of alpha male kind of mentality. But estrogen is technically, the more estrogen you have, the more likely you are aggressive, like wanting to fight over small things, which makes sense because women be crazy. I had to censor myself. I'm learning how not to cuss too much. But we all know what I meant. Women be crazy. Yeah. And yeah, I guess estrogen has something in it where, you know, testosterone is alpha male kind of mentality, survival, generations of male, but estrogen is more likely to fight over smaller circumstances and more likely to be aggressive in all circumstances, which I know many women who probably have a lot of estrogen in their bodies. So yeah, that's one fact. I'm sure I know a crap ton others. It's just they don't come to mind. Next question. What is the most interesting thing in your purse, wallet, or bag? I don't use those. Like, I love purses. I have purses. I just don't use them. I should more often. I just don't very much. If I do use them or I have something that I carry, the interesting thing would probably be medication. I get headaches a lot, so I'll randomly have like medication just like laying around for like when I'm about to have a headache, or I'll have like some other medication like a muscle relaxer or a Zofran or something like. Zofran is nausea medicine, okay? And stuff like that. When you have health problems, you know, you tend to just leave things all over the place. So probably like headache medication or like, I don't know, hand sanitizer or cough drops, you know, real lame stuff. How into self-improvement are you? I wouldn't say very into self-improvement. I am a huge fan of constantly bettering yourself, constantly coming to terms with your faults and your setbacks, understanding what you're good at and what you don't necessarily have to improve on. Like, you're good in that aspect and what you do have to improve on. So I am quite into it, but I'm not like reading self-help books or anything like that. I just try to actively every day come to terms with like, oh, you did that and you probably shouldn't have done that. And sorry if it's bright, like this sounds weird. This is really the only like good lighting area I've got. I have horrible lighting, you know, the dungeon of blackness back there. My apartment has horrible lighting, so this is like the best. But where was I? Yeah, I'm very into just every day kind of being aware of what you did wrong and what you need to improve on, and kind of actively trying to make those steps every day to prevent from doing that. And I trying to do it more on the things that I know I'm lacking on lately. I've been trying to do more to kind of better myself down the line. So yeah, I would say I'm pretty somewhat into self-improvement. What's your coffee order? I don't drink coffee. No. Never could get onto it. I don't like the taste. I don't like it. I don't have caffeine whatsoever. Not even pop. I rarely drink pop or tea. I just, not my thing. What is your biggest pet peeve? I have a lot. But if I had to pick a pet peeve, I don't, I don't like people who, trying to pick one. She has so many pet peeves, like, oh my God. No, I would probably say like maybe people who don't know how to be serious is like a big pet peeve of mine. Someone who's like constantly joking or making light of the situation, especially if it's like a serious situation or needs to be a serious situation. I don't like people who are just constantly trying to be a dumbass, basically. I can't handle that. Like, I love funny people. I love joking around, doing things, but there comes to a point where you have to be serious. Like, you can't be an idiota. You have to sit and be serious for once. And in certain situations, like, I get very, very serious. A lot of people will say I'm very serious and stoic sometimes. So during certain parts, I just don't really like class clown taken to the extreme. Like, there's funny, and then there's like, you're just being too much. You're just being too extra. Like, tone it down for a second. This is not the situation to do that. That's like one big pet peeve of mine, I guess. What my most used emoji is probably the purple heart, or the crying laughing emoji, because like everyone uses that. And then I'm an army, so like purple heart. Those are probably my most used emojis. Where am I? What's your favorite memory? I probably have a lot. I have so many, and none of them are, they're all like inside jokes or I'll think about that one and I'll bring it like at the end. There you go. What's your favorite holiday? I love Thanksgiving. Yeah. Also, you know, big girls love to eat, so Thanksgiving, hell yeah. So food. But also, like, you get to see family that maybe you haven't seen in a long time. For me particularly, I don't see my dad's side of the family except for like Christmas or Thanksgiving. So that's one of the only times I get to see them. And same kind of with like my mom's side. Like I see my mom's side way more often, but I'm more likely to kind of have like a big get together during that time. And even not, even if I just see like my main family. My parents are divorced, so it took a very long time for them to get on the same page of doing holidays together. So now, like at Thanksgiving, my dad will come over to my mom's, and my brother will come down, maybe some other family will come down, or we'll go over to my dad's or something if we expect a larger group to show up. My dad has a larger house than my mom, so we'll do that, and it's just nice to be able to kind of have the family together and helping to cook and just have foods that you don't normally have, and just see family and kind of just relax, and then you know, Black Friday shopping. But yeah, it's just a nice holiday. It's always been a really big holiday in my family. We used to go to my grandmother's all the time, and she'd make huge Thanksgiving dinners, and then that was just a big staple in my family. And my dad's girlfriend, when he was dating her, she used to do big ones too. Like it's just something that we definitely celebrate, and kind of celebrate more than we would for Christmas. Yeah. What's the next one? Do you believe in ghosts? Yes, I do. I do believe in ghosts. A lot of people are either yes or no, and usually the ones who are like, yes, I believe in ghosts, are the people who have like experienced their ghostly phenomenons. Yeah. It's a huge story. Yeah, I believe in ghosts. Just kind of keep it at that. I definitely believe in ghosts. If you wanted to know more about like that, because it's a really huge, like, my whole childhood kind of thing. My house was haunted. A couple houses were haunted. There was a witch in my family. It's like voodoo and shit. There's like a big history of like ghosts in my family. It's interesting. My grandma was in a cult. It was very interesting. Like satanic kind of. If you want to know more, you know, hit the like button, leave a comment. Yeah, I'll tell you more about my crazy occult family. Yeah. Moving on.